Now we have some more definitions. A fair sample. A fair sample is one that is representative of the population. Of course, in practice, it could be difficult to tell whether it is or not. A biased sample. A biased sample is not representative of the population. It may favour some parts of the population. For example, in the example above, Josie may have chosen students who were greater in height on average than was the case for the entire population. A random sample. A random sample is a sample in which every member of a population has an equal probability of being chosen. So, classic sort of description of that would be something like names out of a hat. There are many types of bias and many potential sources of bias. For example, selection bias. Selection bias arises from the choice of the sample. It is best avoided by using a random sample or a quasi-random sample, such as a stratified sample, which we will describe later. Design flaw bias. This usually arises from the design of the survey. This may be because of leading questions or questions that are not fit for purpose. Any question which is trying to lead somebody to a particular type of answer is not fit for purpose. It's a leading question. But there are other ways they can be not fit for purpose. For example, not giving enough different choices of response. Interviewer bias. Where surveys are conducted by an interviewer, bias may creep in because of the manner of the interviewer. For example, their reaction to certain questions and answers. Completion bias. This can arise when surveys are not completed. Now, by that, I usually mean that there is a return, but some of the responses are blank or in some other way invalid. For example, when we vote, some people spoil the ballot so that it's not counted, or at least not counted in part. That would be an example of completion bias. Whereas non-response is just simply people not sending them back. So this occurs, for example, if a sample is chosen and surveys are sent out. Some people may not send the survey back, or they get it lost in the post or something like that, hence a non-response. Now, clearly, you may have spent a long time deciding upon your sample. Then if you get non-response, that can bias the sample.